Welcome, and thank you for joining the Andre Renee's Creative Cafe radio show. This show focuses on the arts and art as God-given talent. We strongly believe that you are your passion. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very lively actor, director, radio show host, and someone who's trying to take my job. Mr. Leslie Wells. How
What's
you,
happening, man? How you feel?
What's going on with you?
Not much. Trying to grow up and be like you, man.
Well, a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
And not as much exercise.
Oh, okay.
Right, that's how.
We got to say hang line. Say hang line.
Our hairline is the same.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm on the right path.
you are, however, you have a whole lot more experience in this entertainment than I. And you're a fitness instructor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you could do
Can
that.
you tell it?
Well, no.
Yeah, well. Whatever.
I know that. I don't look at you like that, you know what I mean?
No, that's all right. Don't look at me like that. That's cool. I appreciate that. Don't.
Right.
All paths around.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stick. At the age of 2 and 3, you were performing.
Mm-hmm.
So was that preparing you for what you are today?
I believe so. I remember vividly my mother used to, she used to hold me in her arms on her lap all the time and just like move my little booty all the time. and I used to, I used to perform off of I don't know, I might be telling my age right now, but that's when American Bandstand was on.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And whatever song was playing on there, she'd have me dancing with it in front of my family and friends and stuff like that. And so every year around the holidays or whatever, she'd have me perform like dancing or doing some type of singing or something for my family. Right. Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. What was it, Dick Clark?
Yeah, it was Dick Clark.
Not that I would know.
Sure.
Because I'm 25.
I could tell by the gray, brown highlights. That's what they is, brown highlights.
The donut that I was eating had the white powder stuff.
Oh, that's what that is.
Did I get it off?
I can tell you didn't.
Oh, well, all right.
Well, I'm trying to help you out, but that's all right.
You remember Soul Train too?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do the Soul Train line?
Oh, absolutely. I still do the Soul Train line. Actually, I just did it the other day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, at the supermarket.
All by yourself?
No, I had a couple people with me. We was getting some donuts and
donuts, yeah.
Fruit and vegetables and stuff. See how I jump to the fruit.
I saw that. You tried to, as a personal trainer,
exactly.
You should stay away from that. I'm trying to tell you. And what happened in this Soul Train line?
What had happened was we had shared a link and we had passed the Dutchie to the left hand side. Right. And we all got all on the, I ain't supposed to say that on air. We might get into federal problems with that, won't we, if I tell that I used the APT for everybody else to hunt.
Right. You shouldn't do that, but after the show, meet me at the store just right there.
I got $100 on it.
We'll wait till you re-up. So, what was your first acting gig?
My first
paid acting gig. How about that?
Okay, well, my first acting gig was at grammar school. I played Mr. T. I don't know if a lot of people remember Mr. T from the A-Team, but it was three. It was I pity the fool. It was 3 different Mr. T's that was supposed to act in this particular play this particular time, and I played the cool Mr. T at the time. That's when I had long hair, so I had long curly hair, and I used to slick it into a mohawk or whatever.
It was a pretty boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had this V-neck sweater on with the arms out. And all my friends and everybody laughed at me or whatever because I came out for the first time and I was nervous. That was my first time doing it. And, I had to say I pity the fool, but real smooth or whatever. And I'm talking about people just fell out laughing. But because of that reaction, just like when I was younger, I loved it. And, it just kept going from there.
Addicted to it. Did you practice?
Yeah, I practiced a lot for that, even though I was like super scared my first time I really got on stage like that. I don't even know why I'm acting like I'm scared right now. I'm kind of sweating my ass a little bit.
I see the water dripping down.
I know, I need a bucket.
I thought you owed me money. I was trying to. You look kind of familiar, but I'm not sure.
See, what had happened was my brother and them in the backyard.
Now, your bio is really extensive. You have a lot. So I know we're not going to be able to cover everything, but here's a question. Do you still get stage fright?
Actually, yes, I do.
Right.
It depends on what type of show it is and where it's at. So I'll give you an example. On the bio that I have written you, one of the plays that I did was called Chicago Bronzeville, the musical. And Bronzeville, the musical, was basically a history about Bronzeville, the neighborhoods in Chicago over on the southeast side, and how we was brought up. But anyway, right before the show, I kind of froze and got real nervous because, for one, it was a sold-out crowd. I was at the Chicago Theater, the very first time at the Chicago Theater, where people like Prince and Michael Jackson and Bernie Mac, and a lot of Chicago favorites have performed there. And for me to get the privilege and the honor to perform on that stage, I kind of got freaked out a little bit. But when I step on stage, every time I step on stage, it's just I light up, and that's when showtime starts.
Wow. They say every major actor have stage fright in the beginning. And so it's not something that you want to overcome. It's something that it just work with you.
Yeah, because a lot of times it'll help you. It'll get you past that fright. It's that nervous energy that'll really get you going. So I use that a lot for my advantage.
Now, Bronzeville, they are really revitalizing that right now. You have the Bronzeville Life newspaper that Maiti started. Hope I said her name right.
Your auntie?
Maiti.
Maiti?
I know, right? That's her name.
Maiti. Hey, Maiti, how you doing? I want some of them crumb cakes and stuff that you be serving, but I heard about it.
I don't think you're going to get a paper.
Damn. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say. I said, darn it.
Yeah. And so nevertheless, they're doing a whole brand new revitalization of Bronzeville right now. So we're getting us back in there. We're having more things there in Chicago. So are you part of any of that? Do you have any place that's going to be in the area of Bronzeville?
At the moment, I don't, but I do have some projects that will be coming up that will encounter me going through there at one point or another.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of like what they're doing. It's like we reinvested in our hood. We did some pricing a few years ago. I think it was a 3-flat. When we saw that 1.2 million, we decided to stay in Northwest Indiana. That was above this player's budget.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I understand that.
A 3-flat. How much am I charging for rent? $100,000 a month.
Exactly.
I was like, wow. So Bronzeville was the place where everybody ran through back in the day. Very historical place. We're going to take a commercial break, and these commercial breaks are brought to you by Andre Renee Wright's Publishing Company. That's ARWRITES. If you love children's books, buy yours today. Welcome back to the Andre Renee's Creative Cafe Show. And we are here with an actor, performer, a director, a fitness trainer.
Yes, sir.
And much more.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Leslie Wells.
Woohoo!
Now, you had a few TV shows. Let me get this right. Hardcore Punch, Chicago.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Hardcore Pawn Chicago. Yeah, that was a TV show that actually was on True TV, which is Channel 11, WTTW Chicago. And Hardcore Pawn was one of those shows where they focused on, the pawn shops that was in Chicago or Detroit or whatever case may be. Detroit was the original home of Hardcore Pawn. But anyway, in this particular episode, my character's name was Les. And his role was he was a fanatic over trains. He loved trains, so he worked at this big train shop. And he had bought this train watch from the pawn shop. And what happened was the people at the pawn shop was not supposed to sell Les that train watch. So they came back to my shop to come get it. And I wasn't trying to have it.
Right.
So a big fight ensued.
Actual Hollywood fight?
Actual Hollywood fight ensued, and we fought a couple of times over the watch, but I ended up, reconciling with them and, giving them the watch back, and they gave me about $1,000 to $2,000 for it.
For the episode?
No, for the watch.
I'm thinking episode.
Oh, no, I wish I would have got that. It'll still be on the air now.
I know that's right. So, yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun show. It was a very fun show.
Why is it hardcore? Because the elements or
the elements of the just kind of like the love and hip hops and stuff like that. They have the fighting and things like that. So most of their shows was geared towards that. The actual beef with the people at the pawn shop and their customers.
Oh, okay. And yeah, and that I remember too. So let's talk about Never.
Never was another. It was
Was that the second part of Hardcore Apartment? Would Never come on again?
That's probably what happened when it. Anyway, Never was a TV movie about Peter Pan, and Peter Pan was locked up in this mental institution, and they had him hooked up with these. It was a dramedy.
Okay.
And
so Peter Pan went to prison.
Yeah.
What else?
Right. Peter Pan went to prison. They had him locked up in this mental institution. And they had him hooked up with a bunch of tubes and stuff that kept him older, because they know if he hadn't had all of those things hooked up to him, he would have been a young Peter Pan, and he would have had his powers.
Right.
But because they kept him older, he couldn't do anything.
Right. Okay.
But that's how the story started, and I was one of the disorderlies that worked at the mental institution to try to keep him locked up until his friends came in and tried to bust him out, and me and Peter Pan actually had a fight, and he kicked me down the stairs and stuff like that.
The old Peter Pan kicked you down the stairs?
No,
got
the
the
young
stuff.
Peter Pan.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, yeah, he kicked me down the stairs.
That was before your personal training days, right?
Yeah, that was definitely because when you see the show, I was actually probably about 215, 20 pounds by then.
Oh, so you became a personal trainer to get weight off you?
No, well, yeah and no. I was always into fitness before I had gained weight, but due to life and stuff like that, I let depression take over, and I gained a lot of weight. I almost gained 100 extra pounds.
Right.
So I got focused on back to what I used to do, and I got into fitness and real heavy, and I ended up becoming a trainer at LA Fitness.
Congratulations on overcoming that. And that's a good segue into when you don't have a lot of work as an actor. How does that affect your mental?
Well, because acting is something that I love to do, and for me not to do it or be on I guess you would say, a stagnant time where I don't have anything going on, it really does. It really will affect you in such a way, because if you're taken away from something that you really love and you do it all the time, and then all of a sudden that you can't do it,
right?
A lot of you'll go through a lot of mental anguish about it. You'll start second guessing yourself on things that you think you should have done. You'll start doing things that you haven't done before that you probably shouldn't have done in the first place. It's anything that you take away from somebody that they have fell in love with, and you just all of a sudden take it away from them, that could be a really crushing thing to somebody that's not mentally prepared for it.
Steve Harvey said, he was talking, I don't even know who he's talking to. I saw the guy, I don't recognize him. He was serious, very candid. Steve Harvey, I'm not a real big fan of Steve Harvey as a human being, but I love what he does.
Right.
I love how he encourages you. He's one of my go-to when you need that encouragement.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, I had my last, I got an offer to go to Apollo. And he said, I couldn't make it there. They said, if you come to Apollo, you will be on TV. And he said he didn't have no way. So he was quitting. He was just quitting, period. He got a phone call from a gig that he done. They said, we got $150. So you know this was a long time ago.
Right.
Because he took that $150 and flew. I don't think JetBlue was back in the day. So right. And he said that's how he began. Right. And people said, right when you're about to quit, it's when success. It's about to hug you.
And that is so true.
Right. So
true.
you gotta stay. You gotta stay.
You gotta stay hungry.
I had a cleaning service for 22 years. And when I jumped into my publishing company and this radio show and the things that's going forward, we've only been in business since April of last year.
Okay,
and so, that's great. The movement is real. And we try to go to every place you can. And so you have moments of, I wonder who needs their carpets cleaned today. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking like, what in the world? But you always got to go forth, and you can't stop. So I commend you by being bold enough to say, hey, we have moments that we wish we were doing what we wanted to do. I'm going to hit you with something.
Okay.
And let me know what this means.
Okay.
Tell me if this ring a bell.
Okay.
Smack yourself.
Smack yourself. Yeah, Smack Yourself was a radio show. Well, is a radio show. Where we will be back on the air for our fans that are listening.
Right.
But Smack Yourself is a independent radio show that was on the Atlanta Hot Radio, which we're going independent on our own. Which the creator of the show, Neil Duncan. I hope you're listening right now.
Right. What's up, Neil?
He's a big-time comedian or whatever in the game, and he's the one that came up with the show. And Smack Yourself is a radio show that emphasized on people in Chicago, local comedians and actors and singers and people of that nature to come on the show and to broadcast themselves. Pretty much what you're doing.
What we're going to do after these commercial breaks, my producer is pointing at me. We're going to take one quick commercial break that's sponsored by Andre Renee, Spiritually Spoken. We are streaming everywhere. Streaming now. Welcome back to Andre Renee's Spiritually Spoken. Actually, that's my poetry CD. Welcome back to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. Thank you for joining us. And we are back talking about Go Smack Yourself.
Smack yourself. Yes, sir.
So ATL, how long was you in ATL doing what you was doing?
Actually, we weren't. It was broadcast here.
Oh, okay.
But it was a simulcast through ATL and a couple other places. But that's our main hub, Atlanta Hot Radio. Well, it was. I'll say that.
Right. Well, it's their main hub. Because that's what they got going on still. It still exists, right?
Yeah.
So, and basically you have comedians, you have people with talent.
So we've had everybody from T.L. Williams, Getting More Money Than You, to Stephen King of Chicago. We've had Harold Dennis's, which is one of the great comedians of Chicago. Everybody knows him, Mr. 99 Films on the Wall.
Right.
We've had so many different comedians, J.G. and Derek Jones and Neil Duncan, Rome Anthony, and so many others that have been on the show and graced us with their presence. We've also had a bunch of rappers on the show, like Casey, Miss K.O.E., Cool Over Everything. I hope you're listening, girl. I'll shout you out.
You know that cost, right? Mentions are $50, FYI. So,
you take
that thing you only got $100 on? No. You already told me. Listen, we're so excited that you're here. We know you're busy, and we know we have a thing coming up because you just invited me to the show for Can TV. Let's talk about Can TV.
Okay,
and my appointment that you just invited me to.
Yeah. We have also, I'm a director of this TV show called Rome's Way. Rome's Way is a comedian's perspective on life, and what we do also on that show is we invite all types of walks on the show to come to our show, whether you're a carpenter, whether you're an actor, singer, dancer, whatever you do, we invite you on the show, and we invite those people that do phenomenal things for the community. So we've had people that come on the show that do a lot of things for the homeless and for battered women, and, things of that nature. But we also have comedians on there, and the comedians give their perspective on the things that are going on in that particular section of life. So say like the homeless people, the people that come on that help out the homeless.
Right.
They talk about, they ask them questions about the things that they've done with the homeless people, and then of course they make their own jokes and stuff like that. So. But yeah, those are the things that we do on Rome's Way, and we're actually going into our second season. And our second season will be starting off with a Black History show. Okay. And I am inviting you again on air to come on out, and for anybody that's in the listening audience, if they can come out, just to be in the audience to celebrate this our second season with us. It's at Can TV. I can say that.
You sure can.
Can TV, 1309 South Woods. It's this Saturday, December 29th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You're welcome to come. We will have snacks, food, and comedians, and we'll have a great time, and you're welcome to come, and we'll do a lot of things for you on the show, Mr. Andre Renee.
Sure, you're right.
You're lovely. Brandy over here.
Sure, you're right. There you go.
I say that?
I know, right?
She just blushed and look out.
Speaking of names, Renee Hill.
Renee
That's
Hill.
our buddy. Let's talk about the book of Ruth.
The Book of Ruth. Hey, Renee Hill, I
What's going
hope
on,
you
Renee?
is
Stop
listening.
calling me and asking me to promote your show for free. Go ahead, Renee.
Hey, the Book of Ruth. Well, I know a lot of people know about the Bible and the things that go on with the Bible. But one of the characters that I play on the Book of Ruth is actually not really a character from the Bible, but he was made for this particular show, and basically his name is Cleophas, and he's a blind prophet, if you will.
Okay.
And it's quite a few things that happen in the story of the Book of Ruth, where the blind prophet come and kind of prophesies over certain people, and the things that he may say or don't say to these people. You have to come and see the show. You have to come and see the show. The show will be coming out soon. It's projected to be out in May. We don't have a specific date lined up yet, but we will be doing a month run. Again, yes, I did say a month run of the Book of Ruth. So look out for Renee Hill as well as Mr. Leslie and Andre Renee.
So you're right.
Yes,
so
sir.
you're right. We love that. We have a segment on our show that's called "What Would Jesus Do?"
Okay.
So if you're new to the show, what would Jesus do if he had ascended to heaven? If he was still who he was today? Well, if he was still the person he was, healing the sick, raising the dead, so on and so forth, but he just haven't left. He just took an extended vacation. So what would Jesus do? So what would Jesus' opinion would be about background checks? I know we just got serious, right? I'm here with a comedian. He's almost as fun as I am, but we're going to get serious real quick. I know, right? We're going to get a little serious real quick. What would Jesus do about background checks? So why are we talking about this? We had a power discussion not too long ago. I was actually with a lot of chiefs. I was just a small Indian. And they were saying how it's like double punishment. Because you do your crime, no matter what your crime is, and you come out, and you have to have a background check, and you don't get the job. And so the problem is that punishing you for the rest of your life. And so if this is a society who gives you second chance, is that a real second chance? Or is that like a chance and a half? Or a half of a chance? Because you did your time, you did your probation, you paid your restitution, whatever you did. And we're talking about traffic offenses, we're talking about accidents. You could go to jail for accidents. FYI.
Exactly.
And so we're not talking anything really big. We're not that serious. But at the end of the day, if that is on your background for the rest of your life, how is that a second chance? Secondly, I did an event at the Lake County Juvenile Detention Center, and me and the judge talked for like an hour. And we were just talking about just different things. And he said, did you know that if you get your record expunged, that the federal government doesn't recognize it? And the irony in this, if you have a federal conviction, that won't come up on a regular background check, have my people, police officers. And so I have even have friends as judges. And so this is crazy. What type of system do we have? So usually we ask for your opinion, but at the end of the day, we want you, America, to think about that. Is this a just system? What can we do about it? Please, really? You have to ask that question. Vote, vote, vote. This is not a political show. Well, I'm not asking who to vote for, but what would Jesus do? What would Jesus say? And in your mind, he is the person who always makes the right decisions. So we wanted to throw that out there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to show love for your hood, you have to support your hood. If you want to show love for your people, you have to show love to your people. Support black business.
Support, support, support.
God bless you. Next time, God bless you. That's it.
That's it.
Now that's it.